For the first time since democratic elections, the African National Congress lost the majority share in the National Assembly in South Africa with a voter share of 40.2%. Provinces like KZN and Gauteng were dealt the biggest blows. We will in a moment have some analysis on how the party performed in other provinces. But first, let's start with Limpopo. They have just concluded their provincial lekgotla in Bela Bela, and I'm now joined by Reuben Madadzhe, who is the ANC's Limpopo Secretary. Reuben, a very good afternoon to you. Thanks very much for your time. I mean, overall, Limpopo, scored. You did well compared to your KZN, your Gauteng, and your Northern Cape comrades. But I'm sure you still had an obligation to look at whether, in fact, come the next election, you will still rise in that province.
Good afternoon, Vuyo, and all the viewers of the channel of Newzroom. Yes, as the province, we have our own shortcomings when it comes to service delivery, provisioning to our communities. Now, the lekgotla that we held from the 1st until the 2nd of September was to deal decisively with how the government should perform its task and its role, and also to direct and instruct our deployees in government to go and implement our programs as the ruling party in this province. So mainly the lekgotla has identified 2 or 3 things that are troubling the province of Limpopo. One is that we are unable to provide water provisioning in terms of the expectation of our communities. Majority of our communities are having a problem of water. Now, the lekgotla identified water as one of its own a priority in the province. The second matter was the issue of roads in the province. The third was the issue of the economy, making sure that the economy in this part of the country is able to respond to the unemployment that our young people are having in this province. But when it comes to issue of water, Vuyo and the viewers, is that we have then agreed that we would seek the intervention of the National Department of Water and Sanitation. And the agreement was reached yesterday with our comrades who are working in that sphere of government, that they will provide more engineers in our province who are going to be mobile, who are not going to be stationary. These engineers will then be deployed in each and every district municipality, which is a water service authority, to go and look at 3 things. One is incomplete projects. One is non-functional water schemes. 2 is how the current projects that are supposed to give water to our communities are performing, which has to do with the project management. So those engineers are going to come, and they are going to be also beefed up by engineers who will be coming from MISA, Municipal Infrastructure Support Agency. So those engineers are going to come to the province and deal with those 3 things. The second matter is the issue of the roads. You will know that Limpopo is a very rural province, which majority of its road networks are gravel roads. Now, even if we can promise our communities that we are going to surface them, it may take us more than 30 years for us to surface each and every road. Now, what we have agreed upon is to try and strengthen and agree with government with its program of the Here Wednesday, where the Department of Public Works is going to grade and gravel some of the gravel roads. When it comes to the issue of the economy, we have identified, because we are a very rural and agricultural province, we have identified some agricultural hubs where our communities and our small-scale farmers are doing work, where we just need to connect them with the people who, like in Chipisa, where they've got some tomato farms, we just need to get the market and make sure that we do the right thing.
But then, I mean, you and I know that the problems, whether it's the Giyani water projects, whether it's incomplete roads, often have less to do with the unavailability or shortage of engineers or qualified people. It's how those projects are managed. It's how corruption comes in. It's decisions that get taken where undeserving or less deserving people get to be the ones who win the contracts. Did you confront that as decisively as you say you confronted your overall performance?
Yes, it was very clear from the onset, from the political input that was given by our provincial chair. It was very clear that lawlessness is not going to be allowed, and people who are going to bypass SCM processes are not going to be allowed to operate in the province. And contractors who are leaving projects, who are abandoning projects, will no longer get work here in this province. Because this province, if I can tell you, its equitable share, it's less than the combined budget of City of Johannesburg. So you are talking about a province which its equitable share can't deal with all the troubles and problems that we have here in the province. What we need to do is to try and do things correctly and manage our projects in a manner that we will end up getting value for money. So contractors and officials that collude are going to be dealt with. Law enforcement agencies are going to be encouraged to deal with contractors and also officials who are bypassing SCM processes. The issue of the poor project management, it's an issue that we are following it up, especially with incomplete projects. We are not going to leave it to chance. We will make sure that our deployees make sure that the people who are involved are dealt with accordingly.
Well, speaking of your deployees, one of your resolutions is that ANC cadres who are not delivering or who are corrupt will be relieved of their responsibilities. You also talk about the possibility of reviving the VBS Bank. Now, one of your deployees in national government, the Justice Minister and former Mayor of Polokwane, is embroiled in this whole VBS scandals. What is now going to be your new attitude towards such things?
I think our response to that, Vuyo, is that the NEC has taken a decision that the provincial government of Limpopo and national government need to assist the minority shareholder forum that is there in Vembe region, that we need to resuscitate the bank. Now, our view as the PEC of Limpopo is to encourage and direct our government to assist that forum for the resuscitation of the bank, because the bank was able to help a lot of also emerging black entrepreneurs and also people who were unable to access some loans in some commercial banks. So our view and our approach is that they need to be supported by our provincial government so that the bank can be resuscitated and also go back and assist our communities.
Now, you are always, and I'm talking about the ANC broadly and across the country, are always united when you go to an election because you know what is at stake there. But things start unraveling after elections, especially when you go to your elective conferences. You have a situation currently where there's, as you used to call it, two centers of power. Now, how are you going to ensure that you're going to be focused on delivering for the people and not be caught, as is often the case, in your own internal wranglings as you go or move towards your elective conferences?
Vuyo, in Limpopo, the center of power is one. It's number 78 Bikat Street, Franz Mushala House. There is nobody who has more power or two centers of power. The organization that contested elections is the African National Congress, not individuals. And then after it had won, it then deployed its cadres to government. So there are no two centers of power here in the province. The center of power is one. It's Franz Mushala House, number 78 Bikat Street, where I work.
Reuben, thank you very much for your time.
Much appreciated.
He is, of course, the Provincial Secretary of the ANC in the Limpopo province.